What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Living Blessed Podcast. I'm your host, Joevan J. Palmer, and as always, we got special people on the podcast sharing special and vulnerable and transparent moments. I got my guy.
Let's go.
Words Taylor.
Let's go.
Podcast.
Let's go, bro. Let's get it, man.
I was talking to Dave last week. I said, my podcast is about to do something different now.
Yeah.
He said, why? I said, Words Taylor's actually be on.
Yo, I pulled up on you. Like, I saw what you were doing. And I was like, yo, I'm not about to be one of these people that, like, y'all got to come to me. I'm here. You got to come to me. I'm like, no, I want to have that conversation with you. Like, Joe, what I got to do to get on the podcast? Let's go. Yeah, bro.
Nothing against everybody who's done the podcast. Everyone's been dope. Like, they've really been taking this podcast to new levels.
Yeah.
And it's just, I was waiting for the right time to get to, like, people of your stature.
Bruh, don't do.
And I was like, I'm excited. I was super excited. Words.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I hope I don't disappoint now. I'm like, yo.
We had a little pre-conversation before.
Yeah.
It was some dope conversation, man. So let's get into it, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man. Tell the people who you are, where you from, all that good jazz.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Words Taylor. I'm a launch strategist, but more importantly, I'm a believer, a husband, and a father. So I'm excited about those things. I currently live in Des Moines, Iowa. All right. Okay. Let's just get that out. All right. But I'm originally from Chicago. I was born and raised there, and then I went to Iowa for school at Iowa State University. Yeah.
That's how you got there.
Yeah, that's how I got there. Yeah.
I was curious. When I first met you was when we done this.
Yep, in Iowa.
And I was like, how does dude get in Iowa?
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
man in Iowa.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
makes sense now.
Yeah, including my family and a couple of my friends, about 12 of us there.
Word.
About a good 12 black people there in the whole.
Population. What's the population like?
I have no idea, bro. But there's black people there.
This is a place we just don't think that will be black.
Exactly.
But they're there.
Yeah, but we're there.
Sure.
We're there. Des Moines is actually I know that don't mean that black people are there, but Des Moines is actually a blue city, whereas we're surrounded by red cities, but Des Moines is the blue city.
Is that the capital of Iowa?
Yeah. Yep.
So, the name Words. Is that your biological name?
No.
How did you come from, what's the biological to Words?
So my name is Robert Taylor, right? It's my real name is Robert. And so Robert is so common, and when I was in college, I actually got dared to write a book, so I was doing spoken word poetry. I started doing spoken word poetry. I was going in as Robert Taylor, and it didn't stand out above anything else. So literally I was like, man, what can I call myself where, I want to stand out, and a friend was like, you should come up with a stage name. And this is about time that you remember like Black Ice, and did you ever watch Def Poetry Jam?
Yeah.
Okay. So but you had people coming out like Black Ice, Abyss, and all these. I'm like, dang, these names are hot. And I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing to actually encourage and pour into people? I'm using my words. Yeah. Like even in high school, I won gold medals in academic decathlon for speech. Really? So all my life, bruh, I've used my words as my weapon, but also as my, encourager, as my, the fuel that I use to encourage, fill up people and all those things. So I was like, words. And then I was being extra. So Words originally had an acronym. It was WORDS, Wisdom Only Revises Determined Souls. And I was like, what? So I came to a poetry event here, and I can't remember her name right now, but she was hosting, and she was like, okay, you've been a little serious here with the acronym. I was like, okay, that just kind of let me know I'm gonna just keep it at Words. And what ended up happening is I got a chance to do this event with Donald Lawrence. Donald Lawrence is a platinum artist, all of those things. I've tried out for his showcase, and I was like, my real name is Robert, but I go by Words on stage and all that stuff. And I just remember a conversation that we had afterwards. He loved my poetry. He was like, yo, you got to make a decision. Are you going to introduce yourself as Robert, or you're going to be words. But if you're going to be words, then you're words from here on out. That's how you introduce yourself. That's the role. That's the person. Like, you can't make them be separate.
Okay.
So I then, from that moment on, I was like, all right, I'm Words Taylor. So my father calls me Words. My pastor, when I met Joe Biden, he was like, what's your name? I'm Words Taylor. Like, so everything is Words Taylor. And now when you hear this name, it sticks out.
Oh, for sure.
Or it causes a conversation, like, you know, like this is your first question, right? Yeah. So, and then people don't even, you know, they become so accustomed to like words. So for me, it started the branding process. Even then, before I even knew that I was going to build a brand, I was starting that process then. Yeah. So that was the key.
That is dope.
Yeah.
Very dope. I didn't think so. Like, I thought Words might have been your real name.
No.
Like, unique names. I like unique names.
Yeah, that would have been dope. Had, you know, my father and my mother been like, "Yo, we gonna call our son Word." Yeah. But no, that's just that's how it came about, and it just stuck, man. I was like, "This is it. This is the brand." Yeah.
You on this journey now?
I'm on a journey. Yeah.
We're on a journey together.
Yeah, we are. We are, right?
Weight loss and just mental transformation and stuff
like
that. So you're down how many pounds now?
Yeah, like, is it 80 or 85? Let's do the math. 35. Oh, it's 85. 85 pounds. I'm down 85 pounds, bro. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I feel like you smile a lot more.
I do.
Like you walk a little different.
Yeah.
And you just seem just different just from your energy. You walked in, it's just like, it's a different word.
Yeah.
Tell me about what has the weight loss done for you?
Man, for me, I've always carried so much. I feel like the weight loss has been more of a, the weight itself was a burden. Like it definitely influences how you walk in a room. You know, it influences how you speak or how you show up, because, and it doesn't have to. That's the mental part. Yeah. So the weight was affecting me mentally to the point where I wasn't showing up in the rooms like I wanted to. I wasn't myself. My shoulders weren't back, you know, or anything like that. I more so came in rooms like very submissive, or, you know, just like, I'll take what you give me, or things like that, or just wanting to be in the background. And now, as you developed, I'm trying to say, it's not necessarily about the weight loss, it's about the journey to get the weight off. Yeah. That's what makes me stronger. Absolutely. You know, and every time I go to get more weight off, bro, there's a mental process that I have to go to get it, and I become stronger. And then my body starts to reflect how I'm feeling now. You know, I had to go through this process though, because I got to a stalemate, or just stale. What do they call it when you just, you're not losing anymore? Plateau. You know what I'm saying? I got to a little plateau, and my wife was like, have you ever talked to the weight? And I was like, what am I talking about? And she was like, think about the reason why you gained so much weight. And we started talking about the trauma of it all, and how like food was, and I know this may seem funny, but like food was there for me when when I couldn't count on anybody else. I would run to food when I'm hurting. I run to food when I'm sad. I run to food when I feel rejected. I run to food when I felt like as a child I was getting yelled at, or I just felt like I was being treated unfairly. I ran to food. I used to sneak and hide food in my room. You know, I did those where you're putting your hand in the box and you cough like, and you got to open up the chip bag and all. Right. You run the water while you're doing other stuff. Like, I did all of that. And then, so my wife was just like, she was like, you know, food was protecting you. Like, your fat this was your protector. It was your friend. Like, I never thought about it either, bruh. And so she was like, you need to tell your body that it's okay. I got it now. And I start having this conversation with myself like, you know what? I thank you so much for protecting me all these years and being there for me the only way you knew how to, but I got it now. And I was even saying like, now we got to move forward. Now I need you to release. Now I need you to, you know, because there's places, you know, I got kids now. I'm having a conversation with my body. I'm like, I got kids now. I want to be here for them. and it's starting to hurt me. So I need you to release. I need you to get in line with what I'm doing, the food that I'm eating, the workouts that I'm doing. So I started having this conversation with my body so I can start releasing, more weight and fat, bro. It was a healing process. It felt weird in the beginning, but bro, there's so much in everything we do. There's so much psychology, and the mental part of it is, if we can get through that, then the success comes from there. Me now realizing that, oh shoot, I must release this thing. That was the mental part. That had nothing to do with physical. Right. Once I did that up here, then it was like, okay, it starts shedding, bro. And it's because mentally I had resolved within myself that I no longer needed food to protect me. I had resolved in myself that I no longer needed to hide, that I no longer needed to cause myself suffering or pain or anything like that. I no longer needed to do that. I have a reason to live, and I have a desire to live. And once I resolved that within myself, bro, I was on the weight loss journey. It's good, bro.
That's real good.
That's true.
Now, where did your wife? Did you ask her where did she get that analogy from, like to speak to your body?
Yes,
that's some therapeutic type.
It is. It is. My wife is my low key therapist, bro. No, but she has a degree in psychology. Okay. As well. But also, bro, she's one of those people. She just reads. She is a reader. Like I talked about, when we buy our a new home, I was telling my kids, I was like, we're gonna surprise mommy. We're gonna have a room. Just a window, some pillows, couches, and books all around. That right there, that is a dream for her. If you asked her what would be a perfect day, she would say something like, man, being by myself, give me some books, give me comfortable, comfort, give me light, sun. But she'll get lost. Really? She'll get lost. I like when we build this room, I'm gonna have to put like a timer on the door. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it locks at a certain time where she cannot go in there, and then it opens up. Like, it's gonna have to have office hours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, exactly. So and so that's just her. And so she's always reading, and then trying to apply what she's reading. And so that was just something that, as I was telling her this difficulty that I was going through, she was able to give back to me. Yeah.
So what triggered the weight gain?
So man, I think when we start tracing these things back, is trauma, and I don't say that lightly. Like, I had a mother who, and my mother and I, we're great now, and she always asks me to say, like, son, I get this is part of your story, but can you tell them like how we are now, and I leave that part out, not intentionally, but I definitely want to start by saying we're great now, we're building now, but in the beginning, like, I lived with my mother for the first 7 years of my life, and then she got into drugs and things like that, and I moved with my father. I was actually sent to my father in a taxi cab. Went to him, no luggage, no anything, and I just remember, like, me desiring and longing for this woman, right? Me wanting this relationship. I even still now get triggered with, I had a student that I was working with, and we were out of town because we were at an event. And he was like, yo, I always go to these events, and, I know sooner or later my mother's going to pop up. She always just pops up and get on a plane. And I was like, that's so dope. I was telling him, like, you need to appreciate that. He was looking at it as annoying, but I'm like, no, I appreciate that. Because I remember when I was wrestling, I remember at my baseball games and things like that, me looking, and it's like, man, maybe she's going to pop up. Yeah. And there's no pop-up to happen. And when you start to feel that, I think for me, it was just like, well, how do I get this out, this hurt, this pain? I didn't do therapy back then and all of that stuff. So it's like, where do you relieve these things? And so food was it for me. And I lived with my father. My My father's a dope dude, but he was hard. He was a hard father. Like, he's no nonsense, all that, because he had his own trauma. You know, he didn't have his father in his life and things like that. So I think we both went to food. You know what I'm saying? So he's you know, self-healing through food. And then that's what I learned, you know. So we fast food, we're always on the go and all of those things. You know how they're born. My grandmother, his mom, is born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. So you have greens with ham hocks in it, and everything has meat and butter and sugar and all of those things. And I just became addicted to these things, this lifestyle. This is the way I knew to eat. Right, we stopped at fast food, McDonald's, like all of this. This is what I was taught, and I carried these things on. And then it became like, oh, I feel good. Let's go get some, you know, food. And I just had this conversation with my wife, and I'm like, babe, I want to stop making food the only celebration, you know, because it's like, oh man, this is so good. Let's go eat. Yeah. And I'm like, let's do something like, man, I'm feeling good. Let's get a workout. Let's get a good walk in. And then afterwards we can go to lunch or dinner or something. Sure. But the initial needs to be something different. Let it be something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, let's treat ourselves to something that will fuel our bodies in a way that is productive, you know. But I didn't have that in the beginning. And so that's where the desire for food came from. And I think also when you know, as a younger, when you get talked about for your weight, sometimes it can motivate you to lose weight, or sometimes it can motivate you to go deeper into it. So now, you know, you get talked about, or, you know, my father or my grandmother bring up like, yo, you need to start losing weight. Look at, you're not able to fit your clothes and things like that. So at the time I wasn't motivated to lose weight because you said something. I was just motivated to hide the eating after that. You know, so now it's like, so I can avoid being judged or being, you know, critical, you know, having somebody criticize or anything like that. I would go ahead and, like, now I'm sneaking food. Now I'm putting food in my pocket. I remember, oh my God, this is embarrassing, bro. Listen, listen. I remember putting, like, you know how, like, I remember going to bed and I was telling my pops or whatever, like, yo, I'm about to go to bed. Everybody, I'm making an announcement because I'm being louder because I'm trying to sneak food. Bro, I snuck, like, oh man, I'm about to say this. I'm talking about, I put chicken wings in my pocket because my room was upstairs. I put chicken wings in my pocket, bro. Like raw wings. Like, not raw, like cooked, just cooked wings. No bowl, because it's like in order to get to my room, I got to go past my father's room, you know, and all that. So I can't have the food in my hand because, of course, he's going to be like, well, you know, you ain't hungry. And I'm not hungry, but it's there, and I'm desiring something, and I'm coping with something that happened that day, I've trained myself to overeat. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me grab it. I remember grabbing 2 wings, put them in my pocket, you know, hit off my pants, and like, all right, good night. And I was upstairs in my room by myself eating chicken wings.
Now, what triggers the emotion for you to want to just eat when you're not hungry?
Habit. I think habits trigger the emotions, but also more so is not being in control of your emotions. You know, not understanding how to, like, think about anybody. You know, why do you think people get into fights? You know, when they go out, they didn't plan to get into a fight, and they did. That's because your emotions have taken over so much that you don't know how do I get it out? How do I cope with it? So, like, today I learned, you know, I've even done therapy and things like that. Today I learned, you know, there's a lot of work that can be done through breathing. Just breathing, just inhaling, exhaling, and all those, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it calms your nervous systems. And there's conversations that happen with the amygdala and all of this stuff, and tapping and things like that. You can do the work to calm your system down, and then be able to move forward. You can function without yelling at someone else. If your habit is, wait a minute, I feel a level of anger coming, let me remove myself from the situation. It's okay to come back to it. It does not have to be resolved in this moment. And I think for me, not knowing how to cope, not knowing or setting the habit of how do I cope, like the thing was like overeating was it. But you hate the feeling. You hate when your stomach just feels like it's gonna bust and all of that stuff, but you're addicted to it. You're addicted to the feeling of feeling full. When I first became, cause you know I'm vegan now. When I first became vegan and I ate a meal, I had a salad, and legitimately I was satisfied. I had I'm talking about foods that really fill you up and fuel you. I was satisfied. And I remember but I'm not full. So that means I got to do something else. That means I need something else. And I remember just going back in and eating more because I was satisfied, but I built up the habit of you're not done until you are full.
Until you get that feeling, even though you're vegan, until you get that feeling of where I was when I was eating the chicken wings and the hot dogs and the burgers.
Exactly.
And the greens.
Yeah. I got to have that feeling before I can move forward. And so think about what that does to me as an entrepreneur. Like when you take that into business, or parenting, it's like I'm exhausting my body. I'm exhausting myself because I have to create this feeling. I'm not fully working unless I'm destroying myself. Unless I'm actually beating up on myself now. And that's why we get to the language of hustle, grind, sleep when you die and all of that stuff. That's trauma, bruh.
For sure. That's
trauma. It's like, who told you this? Who said this? And I was believing in this thing. And now I'm like, when I leave here, bruh, I have a massage set up, a 90 minutes massage that I'm gonna do. And then guess what? I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm like, bruh, this is, you know what I'm saying? Who said you work until you die?
It's the most unhealthiest thing ever.
You see what I'm saying? And so for me, it was like, dang, I have built up some crazy habits that not only come from here, but it's in here. Parenting. Well, I know that it's not resolved. It's not resolved until we're yelling. Marriage, same thing. Well, we can't just have a conversation and say, you know what, that was my bad, whatever. It's like, wait a minute, there was no yelling in that. It's not resolved. It can't be. Because I still have anger that I need to get out. And the only way to get the anger out is through yelling. You see what I'm saying? And when you develop a habit like that, you can see it in other places in your life. The only way that I'm done eating is when I'm I'm overstuffed. The only way that we are going to have a great marriage and get our anger out is we got to be yelling at each other. You know, that's the same thing. The overeating, the overcompensating, the over ego that comes out. Everything is over. The only way that I'm going to be successful in business is I got to stay up to 3:00 in the morning every single night. And it's the over that we develop the habit, and it starts to translate in every part of our lives, bro. And it hurts us.
So ask you a question now, since we're entrepreneurship.
Well, that's why I'm here to,
Do you believe that someone should become an entrepreneur if they have not taken care of their traumatic experiences in life?
Listen, bro.
It sounds like from what you're saying, it translates over from personal life to entrepreneurship life into business.
Yeah, Joe. This is a good question, Joe. Look, Joe. Joe, listen. I just did a live the other day, and I said, entrepreneurship. You know, we've been fooled. Entrepreneurship is not about the money. Has nothing to do with money. Entrepreneurship is about your mental health.
For sure.
That's so I think everybody should at some point in their life should take on a journey of being an entrepreneur. The reason being is because everything that you have not resolved within yourself, you have to hit every single thing on every level. Your level of rejection, your insecurities, your anger, your stamina, your will to want to give up, to quit, to keep going, your perseverance, your dislike for yourself, your voice, all the fear, everything that you've been hiding has to come out in entrepreneurship. And the money comes when you win that battle.
Talking good.
You see what I'm saying?
I know, because I'm experiencing that now.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's the money is not the journey. The journey is self-healing and you winning the battle against self. Every win, then the result of you winning and winning the battles against self is that, yes, you get an opportunity to take somebody else through the journey and they're going to pay you for it. The result of winning is you make money. So like, us being able to make money in entrepreneurship, it has nothing to do with like, oh, you created the best product. No, I won 50, 100, or 200 battles against myself. That's why I'm here. And in that, what I've packaged for you is how the journey I took to win this battle.
For sure.
And I want to walk you through it because there's some stuff that I don't want you to feel and go through. So those are the best programs. Those are the best products. The one that actually went through the journey and won the battle itself. And now you want to take me through it. Just like I told you the program that, that I'm going through now. It's like you went through the transition from entrepreneurship to CEO. That was a whole battle. That was a whole mental process, a whole thing you had to overcome. I want that. Package that lesson for me.
For sure.
So it's hard to be a great entrepreneur if you don't have a lesson to package. What are you packaging for me? Now I get there's other digital products and things like that, but you still have a process. You can have a digital product, you can have your Amazon product or whatever, but what if no one buys? Mm-hmm. There's still a mental process that you have to overcome.
Absolutely.
Entrepreneurship is about winning battles with self. And every day, and this is why I choose not to necessarily get into these debates with other people, or get in, when people slide into your DMs or they make these comments or anything like that. And I don't get a lot of crazy comments, but I realize that those are the people that are losing the battle with self.
Yeah.
So they're trying to win it with you. It's like, oh, so this morning you got your butt kicked by you and your own thoughts. So you're like, yo, I'm gonna win this battle with somebody else. I'm like, that's the part of the entrepreneurship. How much can you like not allow your ego? Like that's the biggest battle. Does your ego feel like I gotta say something. I'm gonna let you know. Nah, I ain't doing that. There's peace in that. Mm-hmm. And when you get to that point, now you can move forward. How much can you there was a point where I wouldn't dare get on video or live. It's like, nah, bro, I'm become a meme. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, fat guy, he needs to motivate himself. He's trying to motivate us. Like, let me see you lose weight and all those things. And it wasn't until I think the biggest thing that was happening is I was telling myself a lie. And so I was telling myself that, my words weren't valued or that I was ugly or that all of these things. And so therefore it was hard for me to turn the camera on because I believed that people would see what I thought about myself. The crazy thing is, again, that's why I said it has nothing to do with physical. When I start telling myself a different narrative is when I was able to turn on the camera. And now it didn't matter what they see or they're going to see what I think about myself.
Absolutely.
So whatever I think about myself is what people will ultimately see. If I'm confident in me, then they're gonna see the confidence. If they see the peace in me, like when you said, man, you look different, you're smiling, walking up, that's what I've been saying about myself. And now you see that. But if I say, man, I'm dumb, I'm ugly, then that's what people will see. So literally it is about, the entrepreneur journey is about getting the resolve and winning within yourself. And when you do that, on the other end of that, now you start to make money. Now there's money attached to that, which is dope.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But you're not skipping this. And even because some people are like, no, I got it. It's like, well, how are you maintaining it? How are you sustaining it? Because even if, let's say you get some quick wins, you can make some money really quick. Mm-hmm. Bro, you now have to still resolve and have this battle because now you have to think about your addictions. Are you addicted to a look? If you haven't resolved that before you got the money, now guess what? You got to resolve it now, because you can be out of money very quickly.
Very quick.
Because now you're addicted to these brands and this lifestyle and all that stuff, and the money goes. Or you're addicted to a drug or food or whatever. Or you have an addiction to whatever, to spending money. Or you don't know money management. Money doesn't solve the problem that we have internally. That's the thing. And so whatever you do in this entrepreneurial journey, bro, it's got to start with us. So yes, that was a long answer to your question.
That was a dope answer.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I believe that we should all experience entrepreneurship, bro, for sure.
Yeah, because
for sure.
I feel like for me, being an entrepreneur, it's exposed the heck out of me.
It does.
Like, I thought I was the most organized person.
Yeah.
And I found that I'm not.
Yeah. Ooh. That's good.
I thought I was disciplined in certain areas of my life, and I found, okay, you're not.
Yeah.
I thought, my communication was well. Then I found out it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like entrepreneur exposed like the heck out of me to where it's like I'm realizing there's so much more work to do.
Yeah, bro.
So much more work to do.
Yeah.
And in the doing of the work and the healing process of, healing yourself within through entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What do you feel has been like the most detrimental thing that you've seen in the healing process for you?
I think the most detrimental probably is, as an entrepreneur, when you start growing, and if you're not truly healed, bro, or you're not healed to a point where you can start helping people, you do it too soon, then you could put other people's lives in a situation that you don't want to. So literally in entrepreneurship, you have other people's lives that you're impacting.
For sure.
And if you yourself have all of these things that you have not dealt with or considered, are you really truly taking them on a genuine journey through their healing or through their success or the impact that they want to have in their life? And for me, very early on, I learned it was like I was always changing. There was no clear direction. And I'm wondering, like, why aren't y'all doing this? And it's like, because they don't have clarity. And the reason why they don't have clarity is because I don't. And it's like, but dang it, they just paid me this money. And there was a point where I was like, dang it, I'm hurting.
Yeah,
I'm hurting people,
sure.
And it's not effective, because I'm thinking that I'm using the business as my healing, as my therapy.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what most people end up doing. You're trying to use your business as your therapy, but you don't know that you're hurting people, right? And that's the key. You have to understand that whoever you are is who your business will be. That's real. Whatever habits you have. So if you always show up late, your business is gone. Your meetings are gonna be late. The time when you do events, they're gonna start late. You're gonna get the content and stuff that you promise people. You're gonna get that to them late. It's gonna show up. And if you are a person that lacks clarity, and you always do, then when you create your program, it won't have clarity. It won't have clear steps for people, and then the people that you're teaching won't have clarity. That's a huge detriment, bro.
For sure.
You're affecting people's lives, and that's so. I take that. I don't take that lightly today. Like, that's why everybody, even in my program, everybody that comes through, they're getting interviewed.
So you interview people before they actually can be in
Yes.
a part of your process, your
Yes.
journey. Wow.
Yes.
Why?
Because I have to know that I can help you. I have to know mentally where you are, and I don't want your money, and I don't want that on me. Like, knowing that you joined my program because you wanted a certain transformation or result, and then I couldn't help you. Like, it didn't do what it's supposed to do. It didn't give what it's supposed to give. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's like colleges. It's like you taking anybody. Okay, you met these requirements. You take me, but it's like, what did I get? How did you set me up for it? I don't want that, bro. So it's like, everybody, we're gonna ask these questions, and we want to make sure they have this product. And I want to know where, like, one of the questions I even ask is, what is your why? Why do you want this? Why do you need this? And I promise you, when people tell me, like, I'm just trying to make money, I need money fast, boom, red flag, I can't help you. Because you think money is the problem, and it's not. And you think money is gonna resolve the problem, and it's not. And not only that, but you're gonna put a level of pressure on me when you don't make money right away. Nah. Let me manage your expectations. So I ask people, like, are you willing? Another question is, can you commit to yourself? Not me. Can you commit to yourself for 52 weeks. I know my process works. I've done it.
Yeah.
With several people, big influencers, all of that stuff. Now it's just a matter of, can you work the process? And if I told you that it would take 52 weeks to get a result, now it could take you 90 days or 4 months, cool. But if I told you it take 52 weeks to get a result, can you do it? 52 weeks? Okay, this is not the program for you. Mm-hmm. Because I need that. You have to be willing to commit to yourself. And I don't want you to put a level of pressure on me to do something that you're supposed to be doing, that you're responsible for. So it's important that we interview the people. It's important that and there may be people that are like, yes, I can do the 52 weeks. Yes, they know their why. Yes, they believe I can help them. It's like, okay, cool. Here's the other thing is, I need a product that is ready. Do you have your product complete? And all that stuff. No. Okay, I can't.
Can't help you.
Can't help you. Because the program doesn't pick up from helping you finish your product. Now, you may have some people that be like, they got the money in front of them. They're like, oh yeah, I can help you do that. I'm not doing that. I want to know, the product is not complete. Okay, cool. Can you come back to me when the product is complete? I think you are ready for our program and everything, but can you come back when the product is complete? Because I want to be honest and open. The content picks up from, you have your product and then we're launching it.
Okay.
So you're going to come in and you're going to spend your money and you're going to be mad. In this journey, my name is important to me. The integrity, the brand is important to me. There's certain values that I want to exhibit in what we do. And if it doesn't do that, then why do it? If I can't genuinely help somebody enhance their quality of life, not just financially, I'm talking about their quality of life, how you are with your kids, how you show up for yourself, how your time freedom, the money that you make and all. If I can't help you do that, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why are you in my program? Yeah, you gave me money. It helped me. But what did it do for you? And that was a huge shift that I made from, a few years ago when I first started to now. It's like, it can't be about the money. And anytime it's about the money, then I don't do it. Mm-hmm. If I think money first, right? I want to make money. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But if that is the driver for why I'm doing it, then for me, I'm not trying to push this on anybody else. For me, I'm going to pause and I may go ahead and walk away from the situation.
That takes a lot of courage.
It's a lot of courage, bro. My wife, listen. So my wife, and she values the same thing. And I told her, I said, babe, from now on, we don't make any decisions based off of money. Because we've done it before and it cost me big. We lost our home and everything. We were sleeping in a friend's basement with our 5-month-old daughter for about 4 months because I made a decision based off of money. It didn't work out. So I'm like, this is the rule. From now on, anytime I say, but babe, just the money we make, then we're not doing it. We need to be willing to walk away. So we get a deal on the table. I won't say the name for this one, but it was a big deal, okay? And we're in the negotiation. My wife she's a monster, bro. So we're in the negotiation. We're on the Zoom and all that. I want a certain amount, and they're like, no, we're only gonna do this amount. It's like well under. Like, what is this? But me, I'm looking at it like, oh, babe, this would be a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
It's still some bread. There's still some money.
Little situation. Yeah.
She says on the Zoom, she's like, no, I definitely understand. If this is not the time for you all, we're prepared to go ahead and walk away, and then you all come back to us when you're ready. I'm on there pushing her leg like, are you serious? Right? What are you doing? Oh my God. I'm thinking about the money.
Yeah.
She's thinking about the value that we set in place. We don't make decisions based off of the money. Right?
We said what we for your words.
Yes. We said what we wanted. We know the value in what we do. And if it's about the money, then we'll do it. But if it's not about the money, then we'll hold. Bruh. We hung up on that thing. I can't tell you how angry I was at her for holding us to the standard that we set together.
How dare you?
How dare you? You bougie Who you think you are?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm probably about an hour later. We get an email. We're gonna go ahead and do the deal. I said, I love you.
I'll take everything back. I said,
you genius of a woman. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that was huge, man. And it does take, you said it, man. It does take a lot of courage and bravery to stand up for yourself. It takes to hold true to your values, to hold true to the principles that you set in your. It takes a lot of courage.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of stamina and all of those things, especially when you feel like, man, I've been taking some L's. Taking L's out here.
Yeah.
And now you finally have something on the table. You're like, you just want to take whatever comes first. And that's the thing that most people like, they get caught up into these deals and you start resenting the person. It's like, man, you wanted 5,000, but somebody's like, I'll give you 2,500. And because you were desperate, you're like, I'm gonna take the 2,500. Yeah. But now you resent them. You could have told them no. Now you don't do the fullness of the work that you could have done for them because it's like, well,
you ain't pay me.
Right, you ain't even pay me. You better be glad that I'm doing this. Now you mad at them.
Factuals.
And I learned that. I remember doing a program and I was like, it's $97 for the full year.
You said what?
Bro, listen to this.
You had a program for $97 for a whole year.
Do you hear me? This is like 2017. $97 for the whole year. Do you know that about month 4, people were still asking me questions and I started resenting them? I was like, you've gotten your money 10 times over. I'm resenting them for a price that I set and mad at them for paying it.
Yeah.
And then they're telling me, oh man, this is only $97. I would have paid. Well, why don't you pay it then?
You hate when you hear that?
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and pay. Can I get you to pay that now? Right. Then it's like, no. But it's like, I didn't understand that's another thing in entrepreneurs. I didn't understand my value, my worth.
Talk about that part.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no,
that's very important because
off.
that's something I'm learning right now in this space that I'm in is my value and my worth.
Yeah.
Because other people see it. Yeah. But I can't see it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, when they're starting to say it, it's like, okay, I do see it now. Yeah. It's getting a lot clearer now.
Yeah.
So like, how did you become the person to see your value? Because like you've gone through traumatic situations as a child. That childhood trauma became adulthood trauma. Yeah. And then now you're becoming this entrepreneur, which now you got entrepreneurship trauma, which I think nobody really talks about.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you deal with entrepreneurship trauma of like, trying to understand your worth and your value, but still trying to get the clientele?
Yeah. I think that's a journey, man. It's just like your like mental health. What people want and forgiveness, right? What people want to do is just say, I forgive you, and then you want the feelings to go away of anger and frustration and all those things. You want to immediately be like, you know what? I'm healed, and you wake up healed. Yeah. You want to wake up and be like, I know my worth, and then you just automatically know it. It doesn't. For me, it doesn't happen like that. I'm still in that process. For sure. I'm still transitioning in that process. For me, it's about understanding the transformation that I'm offering people. So I stopped the whole thing of I'm basing it off of how much time that I'm putting in, but more so I'm focusing on where would their quality of life be after they work with me. And I'll ask them, how much is that worth to you? For sure. So what we've started doing, what I've done is like, I don't want to just place it on me to say, you know what, this is valuable and it's going to be $10,000. It was like, no, you said you want to make $100,000 in a year. How much is that $100,000 worth to you? What would it do for your life? Absolutely. So now I can get people to start to see the value in what we're doing. Got you. You see what I'm saying? Now that takes a lot on my part. So I still have to have in my own self, like, know that I can do it. I can deliver. So the first thing I had to do is understand is like I had to be more confident in, can I deliver what I'm saying I can deliver? That's the first part of seeing your value, is like understanding how great you are. You know, we're a royal priesthood.
Sure.
You know, we like God says like we're more than a conqueror. So if conquering is here, we're more than that.
For sure, absolutely.
And we were given dominion. It's like, wait a minute. So that's the first thing, when you truly know the power that you possess. When so my wife now, I told her she's been out of her job since 2019.
You retired, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, man. And in 2017, 2018, I told her the year, 2019, you quitting your job. You out of your job. I started saying that because, and this is still on my lives and everything, they're still posted. I started saying that because that was when I started to understand my worth and value, not because I was making more money. I was not making all this money then, but because I finally understood the power I possess. I understood the power of my words. I understood the transformation that I can bring to people and how much I'm willing to impact people and the sacrifice I would make to make sure people win. When you understand these things, and I start saying like, whatever I say, I still say this now, whatever I say, it will be. And I'm not gonna walk into the world like, please make this happen, please. Like, no, I've been given dominion over this world. You have to yield to me. So if I say this is what's going to happen, then I am calling out things that be not as though they were. I'm calling it out to me, and my vibrations, my attitude, how I am, like I'm raising all the levels. So now I will move as though I already have it. So when I wanted to lose weight, it's like, I want to be 250. Well, what does a 250-pound man do during the day? How do they eat? How do they wake up? How often do they move? How often do they stand? How do they talk? How do they walk in the room? I'm going to be that person now. And I'm going to say, I'm going to be 250. I'm going to be 250 by, top of the next year. I'll be 250 by then. That's another 100 pounds. I'll be 250 then. And I will call it out. I will tell it to come. And then I'll raise my vibrations to the level that I'm already wanting to be on, right? So when I do that, there's a level of confidence that comes with that.
Absolutely.
So now that I'm confident, I can truly say like, look, what is this worth to you? And I don't have to beg or anything and be like, no, please play this price. It's like, no, I'm telling you I have the system to do it. What is it worth to you? And then now when I say my price is $5K, for me, I have to go through this process of making the price small. I have to make it small for me, so it'll be small for them. Mm-hmm. So because I know the impact, and now so I'm like, wait a minute, they're gonna pay me $5,000 to join my program, or even if they're paying me 20 or 30K, right? It's like, you're gonna go on financially, you have the potential to make six figures, multiple six figures, or seven figures. You only gave me 10. Is that worth it to them? Yes. Absolutely. So now that price become, if I told you, join my program for $5,000, and by the end of the year, I'm gonna show you the system of how you can turn that 5 into six figures. Would you do it?
Absolutely.
Or if you made six figures, if you got $100,000 and I helped you, would you give me 5 of it? Without a problem. No brainer. So now I'm making the price very small. It's like $100,000. They gave me 5 and you made 95. And then I have to look at now, okay, cool. So that's the money. That's how we're going to enhance your quality of life with the money. But now you quit your job. Oh, we making that thing smaller.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put you in positions now where you can hire a team so you can get more stress off of yourself and you don't have to touch every part of your business. Now you can have an assistant. What does that mean to you? How much do you value that? How much do you value your freedom? Now, because part of my target audience are entrepreneurs that have kids. It's like my kids, when we were in Atlanta for a month, my kids were with me. How much do you value being able to travel with your kids whenever you want? Showing up for them. I get to take my daughter to her swimming lessons, my son and all that. How much do you value that? It's like, when you start tacking on that, how much do you value being able to make a decision and have choices? You have a choice whether you want to go on vacation this month.
Absolutely.
We did Atlanta for a month. We were in Arizona for like 7 days. We then took another trip to Dallas. I was just on a Sunday. I'm like, man, let's just get out of here. Let's just go. She's like, where you trying to go? I'm like, I don't know, someplace hot. We got up the next day, went to Dallas. Do you value that? Yes. Okay. You're going to invest $5K, and then that's the journey that we're going to be on. You see how we just made that
easy?
It's just small now.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. What do you mean? You mean tell me 5K, and then this is my call? Yes. And so now 5K is very small to me, or 10K is very small to me, because I am confident in the impact. I have gone through the journey.
Yep.
And the healing process and all those things. So now I know I've packaged up the same system, and I've worked the system, and other people have gotten the results that I've seen. And now, like, so when it comes to you, it's like, no, I know. Yeah. Like, even with you, like, I've seen what you've done. I've seen Dave in the podcast. So like, even when he first started in the podcast, he wasn't even doing it on the regular. He was doing it every now and then when somebody come up. Maybe he put out an episode every month or every other month or something like that. And then the next time I come, it's like, wait a minute, there's cameras. You got somebody sitting there. You got this and this and this. So you are a part of a system. You helped develop a system, and you've seen the system work. How confident are you that you can help somebody build up a podcast?
Oh, very confident.
Very confident. So are you confident enough to say, like, no, I can help you get a system. I can tell you how to edit the videos. I can tell you how to grow it. I can tell you how to use the YouTube system. I can tell you what the wording should be. You're confident in all those things.
Absolutely.
You're confident if a person came to you, then their quality of their brand will enhance from you being behind the podcast, right?
I just did it last week.
Okay. And you say, my price is $5K. Can you be
That's crazy. Said I got the price.
Okay, you see, that's the right. So, can you stand on that and not move?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I've worked that journey from, like I said, I've seen Dave when he first started his podcast to when I joined the team to what I've done for his podcast.
Yeah.
I'm confident in that.
Yeah.
At 1,000%.
Exactly.
You ask me what camera, like that. I got a whole list I can send you right now.
Lights, all that system. You know you have a system, and it's like, I'm plugging you into a system.
Yeah.
So therefore, the first level of you being able to now charge your worth and your value is you being confident in your system and knowing that the system can yield an actual result.
Yes.
If you understand that thing, like, nope, I have a system, the system is this, and the system will get this result, you will stand firm on any price. You can go up to 10.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the goal.
And then now you're like, okay, who's the system work for? Well, how about one of the hottest podcasters out there? Well, what about Dave? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you're looking like, oh, okay, well, because you can't deny who I've worked for, who's gotten the results, my system, and so now people will try to put it on you as far as like, what can you do? No. This is why I interview people. It's like, no, can you commit to the steps? Can you commit to your own? This is not about me. Don't make it about me.
Yeah.
I've made my sacrifices. I've built my system. I've gotten results from people. My life is not about the change because you joined this situation. It's gonna be the same. Like this is what I do.
Yeah.
However, this is now about you. Do you want to invest into your own execution? And that's what I ask people. Is your execution worth an investment? Now this makes people
all the weight on them.
It puts the weight on them.
Yeah.
Don't put you trying to put this weight on me. I'm not selling you. I'm not going to sell you. You can sell yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you trust your execution? And now you get to see the real. Because if you trust your own execution and you believe that, my job is to convince you and get you to believe that there's a system available for you. And that system will give you results. Yep. Now, if I've done that correctly, the only thing that now has to happen is you have to believe that you can take the steps in the system.
Absolutely.
And if you don't believe that, there lies the problem. Don't put that on me.
I got like 2 more questions.
Let's go. You see I got long answers too, bro.
I like them though, because the thing is, like, I'm learning so much in this episode.
Yeah.
Not just about myself, but but about people
Yeah.
and how I deal with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that I used to think like, okay, maybe I got to do a low price just to kind of get people in.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, that whole confidence in the price that you set for the thing of the experience that you had, like the sacrifice that I made.
Yeah, exactly.
The sacrifice I made on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, all day some days.
All day, bro.
All day, like, you know, some days not eating.
Yeah, bro.
We're just drinking or snacking on something, but I'm still conscious, like I can't snack, I'm trying to lose weight still.
Yeah.
So my question is, what triggers do you have from childhood that you still see show up in your today life that you're still trying to like control and maintain?
Yeah, there's so many. Well, first of all, let me say this, and I think I've told you this before. Every time I've seen you, this is probably the only time I've seen you sitting. First of all, anytime I'm in Atlanta or been around you, it's been a handshake, and then it's like, okay, I gotta, we gonna talk words, but I gotta. So I seen you put in the work, bro. I've told you this before. Like I've seen you working. Every time I've seen you do the long hours, the long time, the serving, like you've served on the highest level, bro. I've seen you do the ego, like put your ego aside, and I've seen you sweep the floor, take out the garbage, and I've seen you do all of this stuff, bro. So that's huge. Like you have served on the highest level, bro, and I know there's so much coming to you. And I'm just giving you all high vibrations, all love. Every time I see you, it's gonna be high love, and I'm gonna validate and all of those things. So I think that's important, to anybody that's gonna work with you, bruh. They need to know that if you're charging 5, you charge 10, it's still low. It's still low because you have put in everything that you've learned. You've literally earned it. You've had to work for it.
Yeah.
You've had to sweep a floor to get in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Like it was one time where I think you might have been ET through Game Changers.
Yeah.
And I think I just started working with Dave on a voluntary basis, like no money involved at all. And I was managing the space for free. And Dave came, he was speaking at ET's joint, and he was, yo, can you get the trash? I had to check myself, like for real. I was like, what? Like, you own the space. You take the trash out. In my head, my thought process, but I was like, yo, Joe, you asked to be here. This is the space you asked to be in. So if somebody asks of you to do something, do it.
Yeah.
And do it with humility.
Yeah, bro.
And then I learned that over time, like, when somebody asks me something I don't want to do, I'm still okay with doing it because it's like, it just builds up my character so much.
Bruh.
So people like, yo, like, because on last week, your girl was like, yo, like, how do you serve with a smile and working so hard as you do?
Yeah.
And it's the taking up the trash when I don't want to take out the trash.
Yeah, bro.
It's the sweeping of the floors.
Yeah.
It's the, the late nights, the early mornings, all that work that I put in that makes me smile because it's a heart of gratitude that I have for that experience and that journey.
That's a skill set, bro.
Absolutely.
That's why, like, you started off the podcast as like, oh man, somebody of your stature. It's like, no, bro, somebody of your stature. Somebody like you. I'm honored to be in this seat. For somebody to serve and just be in a state of gratitude that you are, that's huge. The bravery, the courage as a man to be able to take out the trash and you do it and you come back like, yo, you need me to do anything else? I'm like, this dude, Joe is. And so to kind of go into your question, I think that goes into what we were talking about initially is the triggers that still come up now that I have to face as an entrepreneur is still being ashamed of my body. I told you, I hit you up. I saw you on Instagram, bro, when you posted an Instagram with your shirt off. Like, I think I said, I'm like, bro, I even got a little emotional because I was like, I can't do that. How does he do that? How is it that he could be on here with his shirt off and this is so many, there's gonna be people watching this and seeing it. Where's the shame? Where's the embarrassment? Where is all of that stuff? And I was like, man, I want to be free like that. And so that still comes up because I still think about childhood of, there may be the one time I did do it. I remember back in the day, we used to play skins versus shirts.
I hated.
You know what I'm saying?
I hated as a kid.
And of course I had to get picked on the skins team. And I remember taking my shirt off, bro. And I just remember like the jokes were about me. The comments were about me. And I was like, I won't do that again. That childhood experience still shows up today and everything, I'm not able to take my shirt off now. Yeah. And I want that freedom, and I'm gonna have it. Like,
sure.
This is me saying I'm gonna have it. And it doesn't have to be me at a certain weight or a certain body type. It's just a mental thing that I constantly work on.
Yes.
Rejection. So when it's still even very hard. Like, this is transparent. Like, we get sales, and we work with great clients. We work with Eric Thomas, bro. We've launched products for Eric Thomas, his 120 event, and all of that stuff. And Dave Shands, we work with some big people, right? And still, when someone maybe, like, because I have my mentorship, when someone doesn't accept the offer, like, I feel that rejection. And I feel it because when you trace it back to my mother not being there, I felt rejected then. It's like, man, there's one person in your life that's supposed to always accept you. Yeah. I'm not saying that she didn't accept me. She had other things, but I felt rejected.
Right.
Sometimes, when I was younger, I felt like a burden to my father. I felt like, man, I ruined. He didn't plan for me to live with him, even though I know you had a child, but he didn't. This wasn't in his plan or how things worked out. So I felt like a burden. So you feel rejected, and you always, I found myself trying to people please. Like, now, are you proud of me now? Are you happy for me now? Like, can you tell me that you're happy? Can you tell me that, that I'm great and things like that? And those things were showing up even in business. This shows up in marriage, where I do something and I'm like, it's not necessarily me doing it because it needs to be done, but more so because I'm trying to seek approval.
Your love language affirmations.
Yeah. That's the
highest. Yeah.
Don't buy me a gift. I don't need your gifts.
I need to hear.
Just let me know. When you say,
you feel good.
I see you. When my wife was like, babe, I see what you're doing for us. Bro, that's like, it's like gasoline. It's like premium fuel. Keep all your gifts, all your money.
Yeah.
Let me hear this.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'll knock down walls for you. You know what I'm saying? So it still shows up where I've had to protect myself in business now, because I'm the person that in business, like, I will let you get over on me just to it's like, I don't want the confrontation or like some stuff like, yeah, exactly. Yep. And it'll be like, I want a refund. Okay, cool. But, now my wife and them, they'll come in and be like, no, they got this. We see here that they logged into this, and this. Why are they getting a refund? Oh, because, they're saying, I didn't expect that it was going to be this much work. Well, we told you that in the beginning. That's not our fault.
Absolutely.
Whatever. And so I'm like, just giving them money.
It's just money.
We'll get it back. You know what I'm saying? But now we look at the business side of things. So that's where it comes up again, where those things come up for me. So again, like those childhood traumas and triggers, they come up, they show themselves, and then I have to put things in place. I have to put a plan in place. What am I going to do when I feel this way? What am I going to do when these things come up? Like, because they can, then if I don't address them, then they could just run rapid through the business or through my life period. So,
gotcha. Yeah. That's solid. So you mentioned that you and your mom's relationship was like, a little strained. Yeah. And then you briefly touched on dad a little bit. Yeah. Like, where was dad and where was mom, and then where are they at in this present moment? Yeah.
So I lived with my father from 7 to 18 when I finally left the house. And so one thing I just told my pops this the other day. Like I said, he was a hard parent, like, like hard, man. But me becoming, I'm an entrepreneur because of him. We would go out. He just never accepted, like, you can't accept failure. You can't accept defeat. You can't quit. So the perseverance that I have, the stamina, all of that, I think that drive is also in my mother as well. But it was nurtured through my father. Now there was a lot of, moments and anger, and because he was dealing with his own thing that came with that as well. Like, I even, I told him, like, man, when I left the home, I didn't even like him. Because I didn't truly understand what he was doing. It's like, man, I wasn't able to to cultivate relationship with friends. Like, I ain't go to my high school reunion. I ain't really build relationships like that with anybody. I wasn't able to go to parties or any of those things. I just felt so restricted. And so when I left home, it wasn't to go to college. It was to get out the house. It was a rebellious move, bro. And I just needed freedom. I just needed to feel free. Now later, I was able to say, I'm like, yo, Pop, those lessons, I am who I am today because of those lessons, because of those moments where you didn't allow me to give up, because of the moments where, like, every football game, every baseball game, he was there. He's in the audience. Like, okay, he became one of the doggone coaches. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of lessons from that, but there was a lot of trauma attached to it. I still got habits that hurt me, but I have a lot of habits that were able to help me. So today, you know, we're great. Whereas, you know, he has a relationship with his grandkids and talk and all of those things, which is good. As far as my mother, I'm more grateful now. Like, as you just mature, bro, you start to see different things. I'm more grateful now that she made the move to say, I can't do this. Because I think about, where would my life be had she stayed, or had I stayed with her? And I have clear examples of it. I look at my two younger brothers. We have different fathers, and they're not doing so well. You know what I'm saying? I can look at them and be like, hey,
that's where I could have been.
This is a blessing. So I spent all of this time hating you and wanting to punish you. There was a point where I wouldn't even call her mom. I still struggle with her, but I wouldn't call her mom because I wanted to punish her. I don't want to give you that satisfaction of thinking that you're forgiven. You know, and that's a resentment. That's a level of anger that in entrepreneurship, you will be stalled out until you can resolve that. That's because you don't know how to do business. You don't know how to activate customer service or anything like that. Because you have a level of resentment in you, you're going to start bringing that resentment into your customers, into the business, into contracts and all that stuff. So it all ties into the mental work. Now today, I try to, when she texts, I'm like, I'll see the text and I'm like, text back. I got to do it right then and there. Because if I don't, then it's like, well,
other side of mine.
I still deal with because if I don't do it right then, it's gonna be like, well, shoot, I waited for you all of these years. And like,
for me.
You can wait for me. It's just like, I have to do it before my ego finds out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If my ego finds out that I'm about to give her like more connection to me, my ego won't let me do it. But if I just see it and then I make that the habit, like, let me just text back right now, my ego doesn't have a chance to process what's happening.
Because you already got to it.
I already got to it. Like, I made it a habit. Okay, oh, see it? Okay, oh, yeah. You look pretty there. Look. You know what I'm saying? And so I haven't got to the point where I'm fully comfortable with saying mom all the time, but I will address it. I do pick up calls when I can and things like that. And what's really dope? We had a great conversation, and she, like, every Christmas, every birthday, she's always sending stuff for the kids. She's a dope grandmother. Yeah. Like, she'll come visit. She's, worked out with me and stuff when she come to visit, and I'm like, dang, like, this is the mom that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm also grateful, like, this is the grandmother
that your kids get.
That my kids get. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've dealt with some of my things. What is great is that I've never had to have the conversation with my kids like, yeah, your grandmother, she did this and this and this. Like, no, they get a chance to have their own experience with their grandmother. And some parts of me still like, don't hurt them, you know?
Yeah.
But she loves them. Like, she is excited about them. And that's dope. So that's where we are today. She just got married. I was able to congratulate her, tell her I was proud of her for the marriage and all of that stuff. So it's good. Yeah,
that's dope words, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate this conversation.
I appreciate it, man.
It's been a very vulnerable and transparent conversation. I know for you.
Yeah.
So I got one thing.
You see me tearing up some parts of it. I'm like, shoot, man. This is
No, I appreciate it because
this is
I
real.
learned so much.
Yeah.
in this episode, not even just about you, man, but just about myself.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's just like I bring people on that I know I can learn from.
That's good.
I'm in this becoming. Like my word for this year is becoming.
That's good.
I didn't realize becoming was gonna kick my behind. I mean, it's tearing me apart.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful journey that I'm going through, man. And I'm appreciative of a guy like you, man. So my challenge to you, this is where
don't say the shirt thing.
We do a segment where I help somebody who is on the podcast, man. My challenge is for you, man. Is the shirt thing.
Oh my God.
Is the shirt thing, but of course we all know it's a mental game.
Yes.
Summertime's coming around. Big boy season's always been in effect. I challenge you, man, and I challenge you to do the shirt thing. And it's like, even if it's just got to start with you just pulling your shirt up and looking at yourself dead in the eye in the mirror.
Yeah.
Cause that's how it started for me. Once I put down the liquid courage, I just take my shirt off and I just look myself dead in the eye, in the camera, the mirror, and just like, yo, you good, man.
Yeah.
The body and the man boobs, the stomach, the stretch marks, the back fat, man. There's another person who got that same thing you probably got.
That's real.
Another person who wish they can be the size that you are.
That's good. It's
my challenge for you, and not now, but when you mentally build that stamina up and that mindset for you, man, is to really just take that shirt off, man, at the beach or at the pool, man, and just lay out, man, and enjoy yourself and free yourself, man. Cause I feel like there's so much more for you on the other side of the shirt.
Okay. Oh shoot, Joe. And you know what? First of all, let me say I'm gonna accept this challenge, and I wanna get it done by the end of the summer at least, right? And I told you, like when you see me do that, then you will be able to say like, oh, he's free. He's free.
I'm calling you.
He's free.
FaceTime. FaceTime. Okay, where's the shirt off?
Bro, that makes me just...
It's something about freedom, man, that just takes you to a new heights, man, just mentally and spiritually and emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, I've been tapping into my emotions lately. Like,
that's real.
And feeling okay with just crying just because.
Yeah.
Like,
that's real.
It's like, why you crying? It's like, because I got to release some things.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that freedom that just comes with just letting go.
Yeah.
It's just like on a whole nother level of manhood for me.
That's good.
I'm redefining manhood for me versus what I've learned growing up versus like who I am today and who I want to be.
Yeah.
So I'm like in this redefining and this rebecoming mode, and it's like it's a beautiful process.
That's good, man.
So I'm gonna do a quick commercial real quick, man. I want you to close this out, man. Some words of encouragement, whatever you want to do, man. Let people know they can find you, what you got going on, other jazz. So this episode is sponsored by the Emboldened Institute. It's the only space that I know that sends out daily words of affirmations, and they also send out words of healing and encouragement. So I send this out 7 days a week, at 9 a.m. sharp. They come into you direct to your phone, via text message. Sign up 404-476-6780. That's 404-476-6780. Text me the word affirmation for a daily affirmation, or affirmations if you're the person who got to add an S to everything. And then also text me the word heal to 404-476-6780, and we send out just messages of hope, healing, that's going to help you along this journey, because I said it's not an alone journey, it's a together journey that we're on. Words.
Dang, that was good, bro.
Appreciate it, brother. I've been reciting that one.
That's good. So, man, to end it all, I would just say, I think we had this conversation before, too. We were talking about therapy.
Yeah.
And, man, especially in the Black community, therapy is like a negative word, or it means you're soft, or there's something wrong with you, or anything like that. I think that it's an important part of healing, and not just that I'm going to somebody else to tell my business, but some people have held this stuff in for so long, and you've been trying to talk to somebody that refuses to listen.
Yep.
You've been trying to talk to maybe the person that has made you feel hurtful or whatever, and now they're making you feel even worse when you try to talk to them. And for the first time, I went to therapy, which my wife encouraged it. I went to therapy, and I was like, dang, that was so freeing, because I felt like I was in a safe room. I felt there wasn't any judgment. There wasn't anybody that was going to tell me that it wasn't okay for me to feel how I felt. And it was freeing to know that I was finally able to be heard. And then I was able to, now I can be open to the advice that was given, because you took the time to hear me. So I think for anybody that is listening to you or listening to this podcast, like, the most important part of anything in life, man, is your own personal healing journey. Can you do therapy? Can you take out moments, an hour a week for yourself, and go do therapy? Can you take out some time to work out and eat differently and things like that? And the productivity, the progress, the success that you desire, it comes from that. Mm-hmm. That's when I started truly being successful, is when I was starting to work on me more, the growth, the mental capacity, like the freeness of that. When I started doing that, bro, we started boom, boom, boom. So like the things that we have now is not because, like, I don't want people to like, oh, you're winning, you worked with this person. It's like, no. What you all are seeing is the result of the winning that I've been doing in myself. So if you see a house, or if you see a car, or if you see somebody we worked with or anything like that, that's the result of the winning that we had to do within ourselves. Absolutely. That got us there. And I think that's the most important thing to understand. So yeah.
That's where, man. So where can they find you at?
You can on Instagram at Words Taylor, WORDSTAYLOR. I'm on there, reels, content, all of those things. And then whatever I'm doing at the time, that link will be in my bio. So first of all, just go to Words Taylor on Instagram, and then anything else that I have to offer will be, you click the link in my bio. I do a lot of free trainings on a weekly basis and all of those things. So yeah, let's lock in.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
Let's go. Episode, y'all. We are out. Peace.